Yeah. Okay, today, sorry, I cannot be on time today because of the conversion, meeting conversion from the previous class. Okay. Uh, Let me share. Before I start, do you all have any question? Today we're going to talk about mock interview. Wow, can or not? Mock interview, no? Huh? You can or not? Hey, how come I cannot hear? Okay, so I will go through. You are supposed to, for the TPC, you're supposed to do work diary, 2-year continuous practical experience under approved agency and also supervised by REA. And your work must be actual work that you do. Okay. Where is that? Eh? Okay. Must be actual work done. And then what can be done? There is a list that you can include as your work experience. Let me read some of them for you. Uh, the list of work experience that is counted. Okay. Okay. For example, for sale case, securing a property for sale, sources of listing, terms of appointment, and then details of property, carrying inspection of property. Those you can include as work that you do in your work diary, or closing the contract, handing over of property, or if it's tenancy, how do you secure the listing, details of the property, you can include as work diary, also inspection of the property and so on. Okay, that one is listed in your TPC guide. Okay, you're supposed to buy the TPC guide. Okay, and then your experiences you record in half day, quarter day, or one full day, whatever, depends on the time taken. Okay, and then the book must be signed by the REA on a weekly basis. After 12 months, you are supposed to send to lembaga within 30 days. Okay, send to lembaga. And then you have to write a report on your experience, more than 500 words. Okay, what you do, and then which area, and then the level of responsibility. Okay, what do you actually do? And then you are supposed to, on top of that, you have to submit 2 practical tasks, which I have given you. Your task 1, task 2. That is the actual TPC task. Your assignment is the actual TPC task. So you may find it a bit tougher, but good practice for all of you, 2,000 to 4,000 words. But even if you exceed a bit, up to a little bit more than 4,000, they still accept. Don't go to 5,000. And then the task, you accompany by whatever supporting documents to make your case a solid case. Photograph, letters, plan, whatever. Okay. This one, I share Marcus assignment 1 with everybody. And if you look at Marcus assignment, he put in the supporting documents right after he talked about the stage. It would be better if you put all the supporting documents under attachment, let's say attachment A, attachment B, like that. Okay? Okay. Yeah. And then go to the actual interview. So they will ask you about your task 1 and task 2 during the interview because you're supposed to give 4 copies for the interviewers to look through before the actual interview. So they will look through and then they will ask you questions based on what you have submitted. Okay. And they will ask you questions related to property law and taxation, estate agency principle and techniques, and then topical matter, and then the act and the standard. What is topical matter? Topical matter would be, how to say, information about property. What is the latest? Or like now, TRX, or, news, the latest happening to the property market. So they may ask you anything. And this interview, they have it 6 times a year: February, April, June, August, October, and December. And the results will be announced within 30 days after the interview. Okay. Even though there are 6 times a year, I suggest you do your, how to say, your task 1, task 2, and your report. You do it properly. A lot of people fail. Why? Because they didn't do a proper one. Just go to ChatGPT, do a simple one and submit. You will fail. So make sure you do a proper one. Okay. Before we start, how many of you here already? How many of you already? Let me see. Okay, let's look at this. Let's say you have a client and your client asks you to sell this piece of land. You look at this one is a one page from the valuation report. Okay. And someone from Wanta Credit asks you to sell this property. Look at this summary and I want to discuss with you. Tell me what you think. Nobody is listening. Then we cannot discuss. Then we will not discuss this further already. Anybody has anything to say about this? You are asked by someone in Wanta Credit to sell this piece of land.
Madam Chong, Wanta
Yes.
Credit, actually this owner actually he get a loan from the Wanta Credit. So now the Wanta Credit ask us to sell the property, is it? But the Wanta Credit is not the owner also.
Very good. That is very good assessment. That's your first assessment. Very good. Some more? So from here, you know that Wanta is not the owner, but Wanta is the
Creditor.
Yes, very good. How do you know he's the creditor?
Because it's a caveat lien by this one.
Lien caveat.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does it mean by lien caveat?
Meaning they give a credit to the owner.
Yeah.
They give a
Meaning
loan.
lien, very good, Caden. Lien credit, lien caveat means the company, the owner of the piece of land, take some loan from this Wanta Credit, and Wanta Credit holds the title. You see, there is a difference, you know, you all should know this. The bank will say charge. When you do a charge, it's more difficult, it's more complete. The other one, the easier one is lien holder. For lien holder, the creditor will hold the title and then they go and put a lien holder's caveat. So when there is a lien holder's caveat, the owner cannot sell the property because there is a caveat by this person. This Wanta Credit has a caveatable right, meaning he can hold, he can place this caveat on the land. Until you pay all my money back, then I can remove the caveat. So this is called landholder caveat. Landholder caveat is easier, much easier than charge. Both also lend money to the property owner, both also the same, but charge will be more complete and more difficult. Lien caveat will be easier, simpler, but restricted on the actions that the lien caveat holder can do. For charge, the bank can straight away lay long the property. I don't care. I can straight away lay long. Lien holder cannot. He has to go through the court to get the necessary instruction from the court before he can sell the property. So this is the difference between lien holder caveat and also the charge. So in this case, if you are asked by Wanta Credit to sell the land, can you sell the land? Can you sell or not?
Cannot.
Kaden, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What should you advise the purchaser? Hey, how come only Kaden is answering? What happened to the rest? Okay, go ahead, Kaden. What is your advice to the person from Wanta?
Uh, I need to know why the one time will ask us to sell lah.
Most
Instead of
likely
yeah.
the person cannot pay lor.
Then need to get them to go through those legal process. Yeah. Because we
Okay,
can't receive the instruction from a third party.
correct. So you can do two things. One, get the Wanta to go ahead to get the court judgment to be able to sell the land. Number two, maybe can talk to the vendor, let the vendor give the instruction, and then with the agreement from Wanta to remove the caveat later. So sign SMP and whatever clauses in the SPA. Because Wanta cannot give you instruction to sell unless the judgment is given by the court for them to sell. Because now in this case, they have not reached that stage yet. They haven't gotten the court's judgment yet. Okay? So in case you get a listing like this in the future, so you know what to do. Okay, now let's go to the examples that I have prepared for the interview. Okay, normally when you go in, they will say good morning, look at your task one, then they will ask you questions regarding the task that you have submitted. So they will ask you, they want to make sure that you know what you're doing and then whether you follow the law and the act and the standard. Okay, so they will ask you. Okay, let's look at this one. Can you explain the differences between exclusive agency and sole agency? Okay, that's number one. Number two, if the owner managed to find the purchaser on their own, are you still entitled to commission in both scenarios? Sole and exclusive. Wow, like that you all cannot go for the interview leh.
Madam,
Like that how to go for interview?
for exclusive, meaning the owner appoint our agency as the only
Yeah,
agency to sell the property. But for
yeah,
sole agency, they also appoint us is the only agency to sell the property. But at the same time, owner they can sell on their own also. So if let's say for exclusive, even we sell or the owner sell, the owner have to give us commission. If let's say for sole agency, the owner don't need to pay us commission.
yes, good. That is the answer. So everybody, both appointment also only one agency is appointed, but for sole agency, the property owner reserve the right to sell the property on their own. And if they sell the property on their own, they don't pay you. For exclusive, they must pay you, don't care. Understand? That is the difference. So the notes are here, you can read. That's why I asked you all to memorize the MEAS. Okay? Okay, example 2. Eager buyer want to lock in a property and hand you the earnest deposit check. However, owner refuses to sign the letter of offer. That means your sales form and the agency appointment form. Can you bank in the money into your agency's client's account? So if you are asked this question, what will be your answer? Okay. Anybody want to try?
No, we can't.
Kaden, just try.
I mean, we cannot receive the money because
Very,
the owner didn't appoint us to sell on behalf.
very good. That's the answer. Wow, Kaden, you very good. The answer is you cannot hold the money. You don't have authorization. The owner has not appointed you yet. So you don't have the principal agent relationship yet. You have no reason to accept the money. Okay? So you cannot accept the money. Okay? Okay, so you tell the purchaser we cannot accept the money. No matter how eager they are to pay you. Okay, next question. Explain the difference between lease and tenancy under National Land Code. What is a tenancy? What is a tenancy?
The rental less than 2 years. 3 years, sorry.
Some more? Any other answers?
Shorter term and longer term, like lease
Correct.
is like maybe more than 3 years, like what Kaden said.
Okay.
This need
What?
to register in land office.
Okay, good. What Feng Feng say is correct. What Caden say is not correct. It's not how to say? Lease is 4 year and above. tenancy is 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year. You have to be careful about that, Caden.
Okay.
1 year, 2 year, 3 year is tenancy. Lease is 4 year and above. And just now, who answered? Katie, who say must be registered? Who said that? Who said a lease must be
Katie.
registered?
Katie.
Katie, yeah, that is correct. Lease must be registered. And lease will protect the tenant more because it's registered.
I got a question. It's not 3 year, 4 year,
4 year. Who
4
asked
year.
that? Katie,
Yeah.
I
4
think it's
year.
more than 3 years. Just now I said wrongly.
More
It's
than
more
3
than
years, not
3
4
years.
years.
Huh.
3
More
year
than
and
3
1 month
years.
also consider lease already, ma. Not
Yes.
4 year.
No, Katie, 3 years
More
and
than
above.
3 year. Okay,
More than
more than 3 year.
More than
Because
3 years.
normally tenancy is on a yearly basis, ma. Yeah, you are right. More than 3 year. That is the more accurate one. Okay? Okay, and then you see here, there's another one. If it's part is up to 30 years. If it's the whole piece of land is up to 99 years. Okay? Okay. Can you outline the RPGT rate for Malaysian citizens selling a residential property? And what are the exemptions available? RPGT, first 3 year, how many percent?
30%.
Very good. First 3 year, 30%. 4 year, fourth year. And this one must memorize. This one, okay, I give you the answer. I show you the answer, but during interview, you should be able to straight away say first 3 year, 30%. Fourth year, 20%. Fifth year, 15%. 6th year onwards, if it's personal, is 0. If it's company,
10%.
Very good, Sumit. 10%. If it's company, is 10%. If it's foreigner, this one you have to memorize. This one I cannot help you. You have to memorize this. Okay, so that you can answer very fluently during the interview.
Madam Chong, I got one question.
Good. Who is that?
I'm Chan here.
Huh?
Ziyong. Keith.
Oh, Keith. Yes.
If let's say I have one company, then this company own the property, then I'm also the agent.
Huh? You own the company and you are also the agent.
Okay. So the company own this property. So I have to let the buyer know.
Of course.
The owner.
Yes.
But the property belong to the company.
Doesn't matter. That is under conflict of interest. Because if you don't tell the purchaser, of course you will sell higher, and then the purchaser may give you certain info that they will not normally give you if they know that you're the owner. That is not fair to the purchaser.
But because by law, I mean the property not under my name.
Yeah, but you are part of the owner, ma. Even if you sell for your family members and all that, you also must inform the purchaser and get the purchaser to sign a form, sign a letter to say that they know you are selling your own property, or you're selling for your father, you're selling for your mother.
Okay.
That is under conflict of interest.
All right.
Okay. Okay, that's one thing. The next thing, they ask you about the exemptions, any exemptions. Remember, second part of the question, I show you again. Second part of the question, exemptions. What are the exemptions? Okay, let's look at the answer. The first part, this part is only on the percentages. And then the second part of the question, you also try to memorize the one on foreigners also, foreigners. So you have three types, company, personal, and foreigners. Okay. The exemption you have once in a lifetime exemption for private property. Okay. If it's a transferred inter-family, how to say, Mr. Key like to say like a tree, you know, up to down or down to up, father to son or grandfather to grandson. That one, no need, okay? No need to pay. But brother to sister, must pay. So the tree is up to down, then no need to pay. Okay? Husband and wife, no need to pay. Okay. So exemption 10,000 or 10%, whichever is higher for individual asset disposal. So this one also you have to remember all this a bit tough. Okay, let's look at the next example. Property is owned by two siblings, two brothers or two sisters, two siblings in the single title. Sibling A signed the exclusive agency appointment form, but sibling B is overseas and cannot be reached. Can you proceed to market the property? And can you accept earnest deposit from a buyer? Anybody want to try?
Cannot,
Cannot. Very good. Why cannot?
because the title mentioned there's two owner,
Yeah,
so must
correct.
be both signed.
Yes, very good. Must be both sign, both appoint you. Or if the brother who asks you to sell has power of attorney from his sibling. If he has the power of attorney, that means he can act on behalf of his overseas brother. Then you can. Then, okay? You also cannot collect earnest deposit, okay? And also in divorce cases, also like that, husband and wife, one party sign, the other party don't sign, the sale cannot go through, okay? I think in the earlier class, we have gone through the divorce case in very, very very detailed. Okay. What is the difference between service apartment and residential condominium in Malaysia? How does it affect the owner? Okay, I'll give you the answer. The difference is the zoning, residential or commercial. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, and then how will it affect the owner? The utility rates. That's why if you buy commercial unit, the utility is more expensive, higher than residential. Even TNB also more expensive. Okay. So that is the difference between the service and the residential unit. Okay. A buyer sign a letter of offer. Pay a 2% earnest deposit to your firm as stakeholder. Seller signs to accept. Before SPA is signed, seller changes his mind because another buyer offer a higher price. So what can the Buyer do. And what happens to the earnest deposit? Oh, anybody want to try? Okay. Once the letter of offer is signed, you have a legally binding contract. Okay. If the seller abort the deal, depends on the terms that you write in your letter of offer. Okay. Okay. Normally, most agency will have this standard, I would call it standard clause. Will have this clause where if you abort, you have to refund the deposit plus another 2% or another amount that is equivalent to the deposit amount as damages, compensation for the breach of contract. And normally this amount we will share with the purchaser. Okay, we say if you abort the deal, you have to pay this plus the same amount as compensation, and the compensation will be shared between the purchaser and the agency. Anybody has done this before? Or on the purchaser part, the deposit amount will be forfeited and it will be shared equally. Normally it's equally between the vendor and the agency. And most sales form do not have specific performance. Normally the specific performance term is in the sales and purchase agreement. Okay. The specific performance means the buyer can sue the vendor. That means they must proceed to sell the unit to the purchaser. That is specific performance. Okay. For the commission, depends. Okay, we depends on two things. One, Contract Act. We are bound by Contract Act and also under MEAS. Depends on what is written in your sales form. Normally, we will say we take half if SPA is not signed. Okay, if SPA is not signed yet, we share half-half. We take only 50%. But after SPA is signed, we are entitled to the full fee for agreement without condition. Okay? We are entitled to full fee. Okay. Now, another example. Corporate client wants to appoint your firm to rent out a massive industrial warehouse. They are willing to pay you 4 months rent because the property is very difficult to rent out. Can you accept that under the standard and the act? Can you? Give you 4 months. Can or not?
Cannot.
Yeah,
By
very
law
good.
cannot.
Very good. The answer is cannot. Because the scale of fee is already out under what schedule? Under 7th schedule or Rule 48 of Act 242. It is stated that your maximum fee for sale is 3%, sub-sale is 3%, for rental is 1.25 month for up to 3-year tenancy. If it's a 4-year lease, how much can you charge the landlord if it's a 4-year lease?
0.25 adding.
Very good. You add 0.25 every year after the 3 year. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year is 1.25 month maximum. You see, lembaga say that is the maximum, but you can charge less. You cannot charge more. So in this case, they offer you 4 months, you cannot accept. Okay, so you can only charge them 1.25 month. Okay, you can charge less, you cannot charge more. Remember, it's under 7th schedule or Rule 48 of Act 242, Rule 48. Okay, example 9. A client signs a conditional. This one, conditional, you see, conditional SPA, where the sale is subject to getting state authority consent. For example, Bumi lot sell to non-Bumi. Okay, so when you have a condition like this, you need state authority consent. The agreement is called a conditional agreement. Okay, at what exact point is your professional fee due? Those who have attended my class should be able to answer this. Conditional, non-conditional. For conditional, for non-conditional, let's say without condition one, normal SPA, when is your fee due? When is your fee due? When do you normally collect your commission?
After signing SPA and stamp.
Very good. After signing SPA and stamp, okay, you are entitled to your fee. But for conditional agreement, when is your fee due?
After the consent is completed.
Yeah, very good. After the consent is given. That means, you see, now you are selling a Bumi lot that needs state authority consent. After getting the state authority consent, meaning they say, okay, I can sell already. Then your agreement from a conditional agreement becomes a unconditional agreement. In MEAS, it is stated that your fee is due after the agreement becomes unconditional. So you have to remember these terms. After the SPA becomes unconditional, then your fee is due. If they ask you further, what does it mean by unconditional? Then you should be able to explain when there is a consent required. After the consent is given, the SPA or the agreement becomes unconditional. Okay, then you can collect your fee. Okay, so this one, after it becomes unconditional. Okay, but sometimes you can vary. Normally, I would vary also. You say, okay, after the SPA, I collect, because you sometimes you meet those difficult client. They don't want to give you your commission after SPA is signed. They say, you wait until I collect my full fee, my full amount, after the bank has released the 90%. Then only I give you your fee. So you can negotiate with the vendor. Sir, please give me my 50% after SPA is signed. Balance 50% when you receive your money. You can negotiate. So we are also bound by the Contract Act. So if they agree, you put it in your appointment letter or whatever, or in your letter of undertaking for you to collect commission. You collect 50% after SPA is signed and stamped, balance 50 after the vendor received the balance payment. You can do that, okay? But for this agreement with condition, your fee is due after the consent is given, okay? Okay, example 10. A buyer pay 2% earnest deposit to your firm. The seller accept and sign the letter of offer, but before signing the SPA, the buyer defaults and walks away. The seller decide to forfeit the earner's deposit. How much is your commission? How much are you entitled to collect? Now we're talking about a case where the purchaser abort the deal. How much are you entitled to collect?
50%.
Very good. Who is that?
Hidden here, madam.
Okay, then okay. That is correct. 50% and provided it is stated there, stated in your, how to say, in your form. Make sure it's stated. That's why you look at our sales form. Most agency have very good sales form. Everything is written there because Lembaga also want us to write down black and white. Okay. And remember is 50% or lower. If you take more, then you are only entitled to the 50% of the how to say, your professional fee or whatever that is taken as the earner's deposit. Okay, let's look at this one. Property value 1 million and you take only 20,000 deposit. So the commission that you can collect is only 10%. You cannot collect 15% because your deposit, the earner's deposit that you collect from the purchaser is 20,000. So 50% of the 20,000 is 10,000. Okay. If you collect more, you collect 50,000, you cannot deduct the 50,000. You cannot take 50% of the 50,000. You only take your fee, 50% of your fee or 50% of the earner's deposit, whichever is lower. Okay. Okay. Example 11. Seller accept earner's deposit. This one but aborts the deal before SPA is signed. What is the entitlement? What is the entitlement? Seller accept the earner's deposit, then abort the deal. Okay, so you are entitled to 50% from the seller because they abort the deal. But even though we are entitled to 50%, normally we do not go after the vendor. Do you know why? Do you know why or not? In cases like this, normally we just refund the earner's deposit to the purchaser because it's very difficult to go after the vendor to unless it's a very big amount, because to go after the vendor you have to incur legal fees, and legal fees are very, very expensive. Just open the file may cost you 5 to 10,000, and then every time they go to court they will charge you 20,000. You know, they go for to represent you in a hearing is 20,000, so it costs a lot of money. So sometimes we will not go after the vendor because it's not worth going after the vendor. But purchaser is different because purchaser, they have already paid the earner's deposit and the money is with us. So we can forfeit the money and we tell the purchaser upfront, you don't buy after you sign this form, we will forfeit the money, and 50% will be given to us, 50% will go to the vendor. It's all stated in the sales form. Okay. Okay, next case. Your agency is holding the earner's deposit in the client's account for an unconditional sub-sale transaction. Unconditional means very fast, no need consent one. SPA has just been signed. SPA signed already. Can the principal of the agency immediately transfer the agency fee from the client's account to the firm's operating account? Can or not?
Cannot.
Yeah, very good. The answer is cannot. Okay. Sign and stamp. We want it to be signed and stamped. Then only you can take the money. When your fee is due. So this one must be very careful. And when money is concerned, we have to be very, very careful.
So,
Okay?
Madam Fang, if I read it correctly, a question is SPA sign and stamp only, we can only
Yeah.
release it. Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing for the commission and everything also.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Okay. Okay. So this one, the details lah. Okay. Now this one is on the topical matter. They ask you about what is happening to the property market. Major fiscal changes introduced in budget 2026 regarding stamp duty for local and foreign buyers. Anybody want to share some insight before I give you the answer? Okay, let's look at the answer. We
SST. Oh no, I thought it's SST.
SST from 6 to 8%.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you can talk about that also. The other thing is on the stamp duty for first time house buyer. For property, residential property, 500,000 and below. Is until 31st of December 2027, you don't have to pay stamp duty. That is a lot of money, you know. Stamp duty for 500,000 is how much? How much?
9,000.
Very good, Kaden. 9,000. The rest know how to calculate. If you don't know, you better make sure you know how to calculate. Okay, so in the interview, they will ask you, okay, now since like Kaden know how to answer, I may go up another question. What about 1 million? Now Kaden don't answer. Somebody else. If you buy a property worth 1 million, how much stamp duty you need to pay? They can ask you anything one, during the interview. They just want to test you. Do you know the law, the act, and also on topical matters? Anybody? Okay lah, never mind lah. Kaden, you answer lah. 1
24.
million.
24,000. 24,000.
24,000. Let me 9 plus 15. Yeah, correct. 24,000. So for the rest, you guys first 100,000 is 1%. Next 400,000, 2%. Next 500,000 is 3%. Anything above that is 4%. Okay? Okay. Foreign buyers. Now foreign buyers, wow, increase from 4% to 8%, flat rate stamp duty. We want to be like Singapore already. Foreigners buying local property, you have to pay more. Otherwise, not fair to local properties, local buyers. Okay, like that. So now the purchaser, they have to know, oh, now I need to pay so much. You have to tell them. Okay. And if you look at projects, normally developer do not include the stamp duty. What they normally say, free here, free there, normally only the legal fees, because the stamp duty is very expensive. For loan, stamp duty for loan is how much? If you take bank loan, how much stamp duty do you pay? How much?
0.5%.
Very good, Keith. 0.5% of the loan amount. If you take 500, no, if you take 450,000 loan, no lah, don't say 450, say you take 500,000 housing loan. How much is your stamp duty? 500,000 loan. How much is the stamp duty?
2,500. 2,005.
Very good, Sumit. It's 2,500. 0.5% of the loan amount. Okay. This one, okay, example 14. This one on the topical matter also. Based on current property market in terms of transaction versus value, which subsector is performing the strongest? So before you go for interview, make sure you go and look through NAPIC report. You don't know what they will ask you on, Okay, let's see. What's the answer? Which sector is doing well? Anybody? Okay, give you the answer lah. Never mind. So we look at the sector. The sector now is picking up very, very fast is industrial. Industrial sector. Industrial sector is moving very fast. Okay. Landed residential is all the time in high demand, but industrial subsector is moving very, very fast. Okay. Okay, so you can give sample answers like this. So before you go for the interview, look at NAPIC report first. Okay, example 15. If the owner refuses to sign your appointment letter unless you officially state that the property is worth 1.5 million, you check and the market value is actually 1.1 million. To secure the exclusive listing, can you write 1.5 as your professional opinion of value? Okay, anybody want to try? Can you write down or not? Can you give a opinion of value?
No, we are not valuable.
We're not. We are not valuable.
Very good. Very good. The answer is no, because we are not a valuer. We can only do rental and sales of property according to Section 22B of Act 242. Only sales and rental of property. Valuation is done by valuer. Okay? Okay. So under this Standard 5.2.11, you are not to give an opinion of value. You provide inflated value also no good. It's not proper. You are trying to help the property owner to cheat the purchaser. That is also not correct. Okay. Another example would be, you know, the property has leakage, and then the owner asks you to hide it from the purchaser. So in the interview, you say you cannot do that. You must tell the purchaser the truth. Let the purchaser decide. Okay, you cannot cohort with the vendor to do the sales and cheat the purchaser. So you are not allowed to do that. Okay, opinion of value is under valuer. We cannot do that. Okay, so what we can do is we get the report from NAPIC, or normally I would use bricks. Give the value that you can get from bricks, because bricks also you get the past transacted value. Show them. So now the current market value is only 1.1, not 1.5. If you sell 1.5, what will happen? You know, your property will become very difficult to sell later, because if let's say some purchaser very interested in the particular area, keep looking at the advertisement in the area, they will notice your property already. Oh, go down from 1.5 now go down to 1.4. Go down some more. Then they will wait. Then your listing will become no good. People will continue to wait until you go down further. So that is not good. Okay, so I finished all already. So I will share this. You better read through this, because I think this is very important. Okay? Okay, everybody?
Okay.
Okay, I hope you all learn a lot from this mock interview. Because in the actual interview, they will look through your task, and then they will ask you a lot of questions on the task. They make sure you do the correct thing. And in the interview, it's a 3-hour interview. So they are going to ask you a lot of things. So make sure you are well prepared before you enter. Another thing I want to say is the interview, your task 1, task 2, you submit first, then you go for the interview. You are allowed to go for up to maximum 4 times only. If let's say 4 times also you cannot pass, meaning you didn't prepare properly. So you are wasting everybody's time. Lembaga will make you do your task 1, task 2 again. After you fail 4 times, listen carefully. If you fail 4 times, you have to do your task 1, task 2 again, start all over again. So please make sure when you submit the first time, you do your homework properly. Okay? Even though they have the interview every 2 months.
Madam, sorry, I just checked with you. Do we need to
Yes.
remember like those 5.2.11?
No lah.
I mean,
No
no
lah.
need.
No need. I think you just remember the 10 will do.
Okay.
The 10. The
Okay.
one is
Number
on
1 is the
office,
office one.
2 is negotiator, 3, types of engagement. That just remember the time. You just say according to standard 1, standard 2, standard 10. Just based on that. But you have to also know based on standard 1 is what? What else is under standard 1? Then you don't have to mention the specific section under standard 1. Just say standard 1. And if let's say you don't know, You don't know, assuming you don't, you forget, please do not tell the interviewer you tembak, you know. You tembak means habis lah. Don't tembak, Please tell the interviewer, I have to check. Or if you know exactly where, I have to refer to MEAS. Something like that. Don't tembak, You know what I mean by tembak or not? If you don't know, never mind. Don't say the wrong thing. It's better to admit that you don't know than to say the wrong thing. Okay? That's why I want you to memorize the 10 and certain sections of the act and the rules, certain important rules. 7 schedule, that one you should know. 7 schedule. Act Section 22C of Act 242. What is that? Rule 91. What is Rule 91? Go back and check. What is Rule 91? So all those you must check. What can lembaga do if you make mistake? What lembaga can terminate, suspend, can suspend up to 3 years, or they can remove you from the register, means you cannot do the estate agency practice. They can fine you or just give you warning. These are the 4 things that lembaga can do. They may ask you anything. So, okay, Keaton?
Okay, can.
Can, for the act, you don't have to remember the whole act. Just remember certain important sections. If you cannot remember the section, you just say according to Act 242. Try to remember the standard. According to standard 1, office is standard 1. If you cannot remember, just say MEAS. And they ask you, what is MEAS? What is
Malaysia
MEAS?
Estate Agency Standards.
Very good. What is the latest version? If they want to be difficult, actually they shouldn't ask this. If they want to be difficult, what is the latest version?
You know, it's blue
2020.
color only.
Yeah,
Because I'm holding to it.
It's version 2020. Okay, what is if let's say you say Act 242, what is the full name of the act? If I want to be difficult, what is the name of the act? Because when you mention Act 242, I already know that you know, but I just want to be difficult. What is the name of the act? You don't know what you know.
Valuer,
Yes.
estate agency, estate agent, and what?
No, wrong.
Property manager.
No. Valuer, appraiser.
Appraiser, appraiser and estate agency. And
Appraiser, yeah.
forget
Not
about
complete.
appraiser.
Again, not complete. Valuer, appraiser, estate agent, and Property Manager Act 1981. Okay?
Sorry,
So-
with the one, the property management one, the one is the latest one or the old version one? Old version is they got changes, right? I think the the manager part.
Yeah. The property manager, there are changes, but property manager still hanging there. But the act is full name like that one. Okay?
Okay.
Valuer, Appraiser, Estate Agent, and Property Manager Act 1981. And Rules 1986. Never mind. You have 2 years to memorize. Okay? Okay, now everybody. Sorry lah, you have to memorize, huh? But you also need to know. If let's say worst come to worst, cannot remember, never mind. Just say, okay, they are not supposed to do this. You know, at least you know whether can or cannot be done. Okay? Okay, everybody. Thank you very much. See you next week for revision, and good luck for the test. For the quiz this afternoon, we due to Katie's request, I make both those who are taking auction also, auction and professional practice, I make it from 2 to 6 for both. So take your time to do it. 2 to 6 for both. Do your quiz and submit. After 6, sorry, cannot submit anymore. 2 to 6. Okay, everybody, is all multiple choice question. 20 questions. And it's not easy. I tell you, the questions are not easy. I make it tougher so that you have time to check. Okay? Good luck, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you. Sumit, you wanted to ask me something?
Into LMS, the test, right?
Sumit?
Log into the LMS, right? For the test.
The test, I so don't
Test
know.
question, is it in the LMS?
I will ask Nurul to share in the group. How?
Okay.
Share in the group how to do
because
it. Okay. Normally, how do you do the quiz
okay, because
before
I want to
this?
know
I'm going first.
No.
online.
Wait. I'm leaving already. Wait. Sorry.
3 seconds.
Okay. Okay,
Can-
Sumit, I will ask
Okay.
Nurul to do it. Okay,
All right.
everybody.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Okay.